Bestie, I know you think you're old and that you should be in a relationship and that you should XYZ, but you are literally shooting your life to death and away. Should is not going to help you. It's literally going to make you feel like shit, and it's kind of entitlement to think that you should be anywhere else other than where you are right now. And the fact that you see single as something bad tells me a lot about your mindset and your beliefs, and even maybe a little bit about your connection with yourself. Being single, especially, I'm talking to women right now, okay? As a woman, I feel like when we have children, there's a phase of life, at least 2 to 3 years, where we're not really ourselves because we have a tiny human completely depending on us. And no, I'm not a mother, okay? I just have a feeling from what I've seen friends go through. And I am bringing this up because whether you want children or not, whether you want to get married or not, you're young right now. Literally, if you're going to live to 90 and you're 27, you're a fucking fetus. I just cannot understand about people being like, I'm 30, I'm so old. First of all, I'm so excited to be 30. I'm fucking stoked. Second off, that is such bullshit. You are buying into capitalism and like the glamorization of youthfulness. Because I don't know about you, I have actually enjoyed every single year more than the last, even if it was harder, because I'm an adult and that is liberating. We're not going to get on a sidetrack. Anyways, the reason that you should love being single is because it's an opportunity for you to know exactly who you are. Because when you get into a relationship, no matter how healthy that relationship is, you will have to make compromises. Because that is a relationship. It's when two people bring their worlds together. And a lot of times there might be conflict. Well, maybe not a lot of times. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, when you're alone, you don't have to consult anybody for anything. You don't have to consider anybody for anything. It's literally you are living on your own terms, and you don't have to think of anybody else but yourself and your desires, your dreams. Like, you can literally go travel if you want to tomorrow because you don't have kids to tend to and a husband to, figure out your schedule with. There is so much freedom in being single. And this is coming from somebody like, genuinely, my biggest dream is to get married and to be a mother. Yes. And I am loving being single. If you don't know, I was engaged. Now I'm no longer engaged. And I'm going through a really tough breakup because I thought that was my person and I was ready to settle down. And now my breakup has taught me that I'm actually so blessed to be single right now because I don't actually know who I am. I would argue that most people that are not happy in their life is because they do not know who they are. They do not know what they desire for themselves of their life, and they do not know what success and winning means to them. So their ego gets them caught up in this competition of who can own more of what and who can do this and get X, Y, Z and it look a certain way, when deep down you still completely feel utterly dissatisfied with yourself and with your life. Perhaps I'm just talking, well, I am just talking about experience, but perhaps you can relate to that. And I'm sharing this because I'm really tired of the stigma. Yeah, I think that's the word I want. English is not my first language, so just bear with me. I'm really tired of women thinking that being single is a bad thing. Really, you would prefer to be with somebody and be miserable or just fine than being happy on your own. I do think there is a problem with hyper-independence and us hating men. That's a conversation for another day. But if you're single, realize the blessing that it is. Because when are you really going to have the opportunity and the privilege of getting to know yourself outside of responsibilities like having a child? Because when you have a child, at least for the first 2 years, your entire world is them. Look at the amount of women that feel lost after having children. I can't imagine the identity crisis that people have. So why not know who you are to your core, at least before getting into a marriage or into a relationship? Date yourself. I have been learning so much about myself, about my fears, my curiosities, about the things that I cannot stand, my non-negotiables in life, in a partner. You need to have these values outlined if you truly want to be in integrity with yourself. And I think that too many people are compromising that integrity just to settle down so that they can say they got married and have their life look a certain way. That's fucking stupid. Who are you trying to please? Because the last person you are thinking about is you. It's crazy because you put everyone else first and nobody else noticed that you weren't taking care of yourself. So I'm inviting you to use whatever heartbreak, to dive deep. Look at the shadow and dive deep within yourself. Like, don't you want to know your soul? Don't you want to know who you are, what you came here to do? It's such a beautiful process to look at yourself in the mirror. Mirror work, by the way, highly recommend. Best thing ever. And to not be scared and to be able to face yourself. That's true freedom. Freedom is being able to look in the mirror and not having to look away. Knowing who you are, knowing your shortcomings, and still choosing to love yourself. And this is that deep, because I truly believe we are here to evolve and to become everything that we were meant to be. And so what are you doing selling yourself short? I'm not going to let you do that. And you shouldn't let yourself do that. Why are you settling? What are your beliefs? What do you believe you deserve? What do you believe you can have? Are you worthy of love? Have you given yourself that love? You want to be picked, but you're not picking yourself. Realize that the people around you are mirrors. If they're triggering you, if they're upsetting you, when you point one finger, there's 3 pointing back. And any time that you are self-aware and reflecting and looking at that shadow, you're evolving. Because the second you know your shortcomings, nobody can use that against you. And the second that you know your shortcomings, you know exactly what it is that you desire and what it is that you want to create and who you want to be. And in a world filled with so much fake bullshit, AI, all this stuff, everybody looking the same, just be you. Like, be you. Be single. Be happy. Be okay with the phase of the life that you're in. Stop making conclusions of, it'll always be like this. I'll never find somebody like this. Remember, never and always are victims. We don't listen to that. That is that mind trying to keep you stuck. And it's that old programming. That's the old operating system. We don't fucking listen to that. Blinders on. Who am I? Take the time to figure that out. Have a life outside of work. I know people are like, have hobbies. Take the time to just sit in silence and listen to yourself. I hope this helped just a little bit. And I'm sending you guys so much love and a huge hug. And I love you lots like Dippin' Dots.